humbled and I'm honored to accept the nomination to become, I hope, the next senator from the 13th District for Connecticut. At about this time last year, my wife and I spent quite a bit of time talking about my political activity. And we had decided that after 14 years on the board, and a tumultuous 14 years at times, because those of you who live in Meriden know that I fought for a lot of things to be changed and reformed in Meriden, and it was not an easy fight. But we decided together that it was time for a little sabbatical between the duration of the time on the board and our youngest child, Josh, was becoming a senior in high school. It was going to be his last year at home. And my wife said, maybe you should give the family a little more time for this, at least a year. So we took off, and I said, okay, I'm not going to run for re-election because family life is important. And your family responsibilities are certainly the most important responsibility you have in life. So given that, you might say, well, what are you doing up here, Len? Why are you here? And I can tell you, I have plenty of practice answering that question from my wife, Kathy. For 2 months now, why are you going to do this? Kate, I'm a blessed man to have such a wonderful, fantastic, patient wife, believe me. And I just think she should get a round of applause, not me. Her to run instead of me. I think that's when the tide turns. She starts saying, okay, well, maybe you should run then. There's 2 reasons really why I decided to accept the challenge. And it's a challenge. Let's face it. We're in a district that's been not dominated by the Democrats. It's been owned by the Democrats for, I can't remember the last time a Republican won the Senate seat from the 13th District. So it's a formidable challenge, even in these circumstances where I think we probably have our best chance in generations to win the seat. But it's still an uphill fight. But basically, 2 things very, very, very much upset me in the last year. And I think probably most, if not all of you in the room, share the feelings I had. And that is, one, I was watching, as I say, the sausage making going on down in Washington this last year. And to express my feelings or my reaction is revolt or revulsion is an understatement. In addition, that was capped by the spectacle in Hartford. Watching our legislature basically walk away from an adult-like response to a very difficult financial situation and adopt some kind of true long-term solution to our budget problems was not in the cards. Our legislature walked away from an adult-like response to its responsibilities, and it basically put together a Rube Goldberg type of budget contraption that's kind of put together by all sorts of gifts, whether it's borrowing money to pay off some current expenses, deferring payments that were due to the retirement funds for the teachers and the state employees, stealing money, in my opinion, from the electric customers of CLP who were due to have a lapse of the surcharge happened this year, and now the legislature decided they're going to take some of that money, which was supposed to go entirely back to the customers of CLP, and they basically decided to keep a third of it for themselves to help cover the budget. And the answer, what's the solution? Well, the first thing is to figure out what got us to where we are. And what got us to where we are, it just didn't happen, like the devil didn't make us do it. It happened because of the liberal tax and spend policies of politicians for the last 25 years in the state. It just didn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen. It happened over a long period of time. This, if you can see it, is a graph that was put out by the Connecticut Yankee Institute. It's pretty flat. It went up just a little bit. This is the growth in real expenditures of the state budget. It goes up like a rocket ship almost. It looks like it's becoming Mount Everest. And this is adjusted for inflation. This is not like, oh, okay, it's inflation causing this. This is adjusted for inflation. This is insanity is what it is. It's fiscal insanity. There are over 300 taxes and fees imposed by the state government on the people of Connecticut. So again, what caused this? It's the liberal tax and spend policies of politicians for the last 25 years. And ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to get rid of the bad policy. It's to get rid of the bad policy makers. It's to get rid of the liberal policy. Now, I was educated at the Wharton School of Finance, pretty well-known school for its business education, and they taught you all sorts of sophisticated things at the Wharton School. And I am going to introduce, if I am elected as a Senate candidate, as a senator from the 13th district, I'm going to introduce a very sophisticated budgeting technique that I learned. It's called brown bag budgeting. This was something I did not learn at the Wharton School. This is something my grandma taught me. You don't have the money, you don't buy it. And you know, instead of going to work and getting that $5 or $6 McDonald's meal deal, you take your P&J sandwich and maybe a little bottle of water. This is going to be the motto of my campaign: brown bag budgeting. We don't borrow for today's expenses. The only time you can borrow is when you really need to capital investment. So I want everybody to have these brown bags and keep it on your counter, and we're going to pass a bigger bag around for money after that. One of the things I want to promise to you is this. This is going to be a campaign of ideas. If there's one thing I think I got a reputation for on the Meriden Board of Ed, aside from fighting for what I believe in, is introducing ideas. The campaign's going to be won. I'm not going to win it. It's going to be won by us as a team. I can't go out there and do it myself. This is a team victory if it's going to be a victory at all. And every single one of you has got, I need your help. I need your help in terms of knocking on doors. I would love to go to your homes where you might have a meet and greet. We can talk about putting up signs, the lit drops, all the wonderful, fun things you have to do in a campaign. Oh yes, and my wife, see, look at that, fantastic. Kate brought some slips. Why don't you pass those out, Katie, next to the brown bag? Those are some slips that we quickly made up. If people want to put their names on there and fill out what you might be interested in doing, that would be great. But I need you to help, and not just cheer me on, but to help do this, because I will not win this on my own. It's impossible. I wouldn't even try it if I didn't know I could have your help. So I want to ask you, are you willing to volunteer your time to help me win this election?
Yes.
Are you willing to give some money to help out with the campaign?
Yes.
Are you willing to go door to door and drop literature from time to time?
Yes.
Are you willing to talk to your friends and neighbors about my campaign and my ideas?
Absolutely.
Are you willing to do what has to be done to win in November?
Yes.
Come on, louder!
Yes.
And what's the answer to our long-term budget problems? Throw him out.
Yep.
I thank you for tonight. I look forward to getting to know each one of you more personally, and I will do my best. If I'm elected, I guarantee you I will work hard for all the things we believe in. Thank you very much.